Dear students, I am going to continue my lectures on amines. In these lectures, I am going to teach you method of preparations of secondary and tertiary amine, how you can separate the mixture of amine, and what is the physical property of that particular amines. So the method of preparations of secondary or tertiary amine are similar to primary amines that I had taught you in last lecture. So you can do alkylations, or you can do reactions with primary amines, and you can do alkylations of primary amines. So either you can directly prepare from primary amine from ammonia, then you can do this. So for this you have to take a 1 mole primary amine and you have to do reactions with any kind of alkyl halide, so it will produce salts. And as you know that you are producing this salt is acidic, so if you can do reaction with base, so you will get your products with neutralizations occur and you will get secondary amine as your product. For example, if I have a ethyl amine, I am doing reactions with ethyl iodide. So initially I will get a complex of diethyl ammonium iodide, then I am doing reaction with base, so I will get diethylamine as my product. But as I had earlier told you, in primary amine also this method is not useful for preparations of secondary amine, because if I have a more number of aldehyde, means if I have a more number of mole of aldehyde, my reactions will occur in further this primary amine. So what will in my continuous reaction, this primary amine again react with this alkyl halide and it produce the tertiary amine, and the tertiary amine again react with alkyl halide and produce the tetraalkyl ammonium salt. So that's why this method is not good choice for preparations of diamines, secondary amine. Then reductions of N-substituted amide. For reductions, as I told you, you can use like lithium aluminum hydride or nickel. You can use anything. Okay. So with lithium aluminum hydride and your reactant is amide, CONH. Okay. So just you have to remove this C double bond O. Okay, instead of this oxygen, you have to place two hydrogen. The rest of the two hydrogen will react with oxygen and produce the water molecule. Okay, so from an alkyl amide, you will get easily secondary amine and N-methyl propanamides, and if you are doing reactions with nascent hydrogen, so you will get methyl propylamine. Okay, so the nomenclature is like that: methyl, and this is propyl. So here you have to follow the alphabetical order. Okay, so that's why methyl is first and propyl is then amine. Then reductions of alkyl cyanides or isonitriles. So if I am writing N triple bond C, so that is my isonitrile. Okay, same thing, you have to do reductions here. Okay, so during reductions you will get secondary amine, but you have to deal with this alkyl and isocyanate, so that's why this method is not very useful for academic purpose. Then reductions of Schiff base. Okay, so you have to do reductions of aldehyde or ketones, and your product is Schiff base. Schiff base means what? If this carbon is directly attached with nitrogen with double bond, and the most important thing, the nitrogen, it contains some kind of group of molecules rather than atom, and that is hydrogen. स्कीफ बेस उसको बोला जाता है कि जिसमें सी डबल बॉन्ड एन हो, और एन के साथ जो यहाँ पर आरडीएस दिखाया गया है, ठीक है, उसके साथ हाइड्रोजन नहीं जुड़ा होना चाहिए। ठीक है, उसके साथ अगर कोई CH3 या C2H हो, ऐसा कोई भी अल्काइल ग्रुप या तो अल्काइल ग्रुप लगा होना चाहिए। ठीक है, तो उसको क्या बोलते हैं? स्कीफ बेस बोलते हैं। सो ये एक चीज याद रखना है। कभी कभार एग्जामिनर विल आस्क यू दिस काइंड ऑफ क्वेश्चन इन वाइवा। ओके, स्कीफ बेस क्या होता है? So the primary amine react with aldehyde and ketone to give skip base, and that particular skip base you have to do reductions. Okay, with the platinum, so you will get your secondary amine. So the reaction is simple. You have to break the bond from here. Okay, then one hydrogen will here and another will come here. Then reductive alkylations of aldehyde and ketones. So this is also very simple. You have to do reactions of primary amine with ketone. So this is water molecule will eliminate. Okay, then this is directly attached and produce the imine. Okay, and you need a secondary amine as a your product, so you have to break this bond. So you have to do reductions in presence of nickel, and you will get your secondary amine. So this is the example of methylamine. From methylamine you can produce the isopropyl methylamine. So you have to do reaction with acetone, so these water molecules will remove. Okay, then you will get imine. Then you have to do reductions in presence of nickel, so this bond will break, and one hydrogen you have to write here, one hydrogen you have to write here. So this is an isopropyl structure, so you have to follow the alphabetical order. This is isopropyl, that's why I, and this is a methyl, so that's why you have to write this first, isopropyl methylamine. So the advantage is like alkylations or alkyl halide here. Your product is not a tertiary or tetra alkyl ammonium salt. So this is the biggest advantage of this reaction. Or you can do hydrolysis of para-nitroso or NN para-nitroso NN dialkyl amine. Okay. So you have to do with the help of this you can get your secondary amine. So first from aniline you have to do reactions with RX that we have already seen, like alkyl halide reactions with. So you will get NN dialkyl aniline, and then you have to do reactions with nitroso. So you will get a para product, para nitroso and then dimethylaniline. Then you have to do hydrolysis. So whenever you are doing hydrolysis, this R2, okay, that R2, this NR2 is directly attached with this hydrogen. So from here, the bond will break, the OH will attach here. So you will get para nitrosophenol and your secondary amine as a product. So you will get a pure secondary amine here. Then hydrolysis of dialkyl cyanamide. So for here you need a cyanide molecule like C triple bond N. Okay, so don't be confused with it between cyanide and isonitrile. In isonitrile N triple bond C. Okay, here C triple bond N. So that's why it is known as cyanide molecule. So pure secondary amines may be obtained by synthesizing dialkyl cyanamides. So dialkyl cyanamide by the actions of alkyl halide or sodium cyanamide, and the dialkyl halide is hydrolyzed by aqueous acid or base to produce the secondary amine. So suppose like this is a sodium cyanamide. So from sodium cyanamide you can produce the cyanamide ion, and that cyanamide ion react with this alkyl halide. So you will get this intermediate product, and again you are doing reactions with alkyl halide, so you will get your diamine, dialkyl cyanamides. And that particular dialkyl cyanamides you have to do hydrolysis. So for doing hydrolysis you will get carbonic acids, and which is unstable. So the decarboxylations will occur, and you will get your amine. Then from chloramines and Grignard reactions, so you have to first produce the chloramine. So it's very easy from primary amine, and you can react with chloramines. So simple, the H and this ONA. So the NaOH will your byproduct, and you will get your chloramine. So with this chloramine, you have to do reactions with Grignard reaction. So this MgCl and Cl, you will get like MgCl2, or I can say MgX2 as a byproduct, and this added is directly added to N. So you will get your secondary amine. So the method is suitable for preparations of secondary amine having two uh, uh, tertiary alkyl groups such as like di-tetrabutyl. So the method is very good to prepare this kind of tertiary diamine also. Then tertiary amine, so similar alkylations of secondary amine here you have to do. In earlier we have seen for synthesis of secondary amine we had done the alkylation of primary amine. So my secondary amine is react with alkyl halide. So initially I will get some kind of salt, and this is an acidic salt, so I'm going to reactions with NaOH, so I will get my tertiary amine. Similar problem is also if I have a more amount of alkyl halide, I will get tetraalkyl salt. Okay, but this is a little bit good because we are not getting a mixture of all amines, so that's why this method is very good, useful for preparations of tertiary amine. And you can easily separate this tertiary amine and tetraalkyl ammonium salt with the help of a fraction distillation method that we will see later part of my slides. Same reductions of N disubstituted amide. So if I have a disubstituted amide means CO, and either instead of here if it is a H, so you can say amide, but we need a tertiary amine, so that's why you must choose like this CRR. Okay, so instead of H here you have to take some kind of alkyl group, and I'm going to convert this C double bond into methyl. Okay, so that's why N contain all three alkyl molecules, so that's why it is known as tertiary amine. So same you have to choose, you have to do reactions with lithium aluminum hydride in presence of hydrogen, so you will get a tertiary amine. So this is the example of an dimethyl propionamides, and you have to do reactions with the lithium aluminum hydride, so you will get dimethyl propylamine. Same reductions with alkylation, so you can take primary amine, aldehyde and formic acid, so you will directly get tertiary amine. Okay, so tertiary amine can be obtained by methylation of primary or secondary amine by mixture of formic acid and formaldehyde, and this is referred as Ellsworth-Clarke reactions. Then decompositions of tetra-alkyl ammonium hydroxide. So if I have a tetra ammonium salt, so I can easily decompose it, so I can easily remove the one CH3I from this, and I will get my product. Okay, so I have to do reaction with silver hydroxide. So initially this iodide will replace with hydroxy molecule, and then I have to heat my solution, so this bond will be break, and I will get my product. Okay, so from chloroamines and Grignard reagents that we have already seen, so you have to prepare you have to do reaction with plus initially this chloramine, so this NaOH as a byproduct. Okay, and you will get chloramine, and this chloramine you have to do reaction with Grignard reagent, so you will get MgX2 as a byproduct, and tertiary amine is your main product. So how to separate this mixture of amine, because in some of the synthesis we have already seen that sometimes you will get a mixture of amines, so it's very easy. generally, if you're like a mixture of salts of primary, second, tertiary amine along with the tetra alkyl salts. Okay, so these are all salt and they are acidic, so you have to do reactions with KOH. So once you will do reaction with KOH, you will get a primary amine. If you have a primary amine salt, from secondary amine, you will get secondary amine. Tertiary amine, you will get tertiary amine salt, you will get tertiary amine. And for tetra alkyl ammonium salts, there is a no reaction. So this will remain as a salt form in my solutions, and I have to prepare the solutions in water. Okay, so this will remain soluble in my solution, and all these three are they are insoluble. Okay, so they will come out from my solutions, and I can easily separate these all three amines with fraction distillation method. Okay, because all three amines, they have a different boiling point. So first distill with potassium hydroxide solution. So I have to distill three alkyl amine are salt free and distilled, and tetra alkyl ammonium hydroxide however remains unaffected by alkali, and being non-volatile is left behind. The distillations contain three free amines, that is primary, secondary and tertiary. So you can easily separate by so first one is fraction distillation. As I told you, the boiling points of all three amines are different. Like for primary amine, if I'm talking about ethylamine 17, diethylamine 56, and triethylamine is 98. So I can easily separate with fraction distillation method. So it's very useful for industry this process. Or you can do reaction with the diethyl oxalate. So from diethyl oxalate, if I am doing reaction with primary amine, and I will get dialkyl oxime. Similarly for secondary amine, if I am doing reaction with diethyl oxides, so here one hydrogen is present, so it directly attach with this, and I will get alcohol as my byproduct. So dialkyl oxime ester oily liquids I will get. Here I will get crystalline solid, and the second ester group does not react because there is no another hydrogen. Okay, and tertiary amine, there is no hydrogen, so it does not react with tertiary amine. And the reaction mixture is, now you can fraction distillate with you can do fraction distillations. Then you can do reaction with benzene sulfonide chloride, okay, or which is known as Hinsberg method. So for this you have to take this benzene sulfonide chloride. So you can write either like this, any one of way you can like your you can write your structure. So suppose if you have a primary amine and you can do reactions with this benzene sulfonyl chloride, so this HCl will remove and you will get an alkyl benzene sulfonamide. Okay, and this is a soluble base. Whereas for a secondary amine, if I am doing reactions, so I will get insoluble compounds. Okay, and in tertiary amine there is a no hydrogen to react, so that's why tertiary amine does not react with benzene sulfonyl chloride. So this is the one of the key tests in your experiment to get the idea about whether your compound is primary, secondary or tertiary amine. So the mixture obtained after treatment with benzene sulfonide chloride in presence of NaOH is then similar. You have to distill. Okay, and this sulfonamide and if followed by you have to do hydrolysis. So once you will do hydrolysis, you will get your product primary or secondary amine again. Okay, so nowadays people are not using benzene sulfonic chloric acid. They are replaced by para-toluene sulfonyl. Physical property. So first is physical state. So lower amine like 1 to 4 amines amines are gas at room temperature. Okay, 4 and more carbons are volatile liquids, whereas higher molecular weights amines are colorless solid order. So generally, lower molecular weight amines such as like methylamine, dimethyl have a strong odor like smell of ammonia. Okay, and the order of resemble that decaying fish as size of alkyl group attached of nitrogen increases. So that's why amine has a mostly fishy like smell, and in general aliphatic amines are said to be fishy or fish like order. Density, as you know that this is an organic molecule, so they are always lighter than water. Boiling point here, for boiling point it is tricky because here nitrogen has a one lone pair of electrons, so it can easily make a hydrogen bond. So that's why you can see like some kind of unevenness if I am comparing the boiling point of primary, secondary and tertiary amine. Okay. So simple amines are polar compound and primary amines has a two polar NH bond. Okay, whereas for secondary amine there is a only one hydrogen is there here, so that's why there is a only one polar bond. However, in tertiary amine there is a no hydrogen bond. So that's why amine can easily prepare intermolecular hydrogen bonding. So therefore primary amines are polar and capable of forming of intermolecular hydrogen bonding by virtue of the presence of unshared electron. Whereas tertiary amine also polar, but it is not capable because they don't have a hydrogen. So that's why they do not make hydrogen. So the hydrogen bonding from by amine are not strong as the like water, but because of nitrogen is less electronic than oxygen, that we all know. So on account of their less degree of intermolecular association of boiling point, primary and secondary amine are lower than those of the alcohol. So if we are comparing the amine with alcohol, but the boiling point of tertiary amine, which is no hydrogen bond, are near those of the alkane of the comparable molecular weight. If I am talking about the solubility, they can easily form the hydrogen bond, so that's why lower hydrocarbon amines are highly soluble in water. With increasing molecular weight, the solubility always decreases, that you know. Amines including tertiary amine are capable to forming hydrogen bond with water molecule, and lower molecular weight amines are very soluble in water, and the solubility of amine decreases with increasing size of the alkyl group. So large aliphatic amine are soluble in organic solvents like benzene, ether, chloroform, etc. And they have side effects. So lower molecular weight amines are volatile, so it can cause irritations or cardiac stimulants like ammonia. Basicity of amine, as we know that ammonia is basic. Why? Because whenever we are doing reactions with water molecule, it produces ammonium ion and hydroxyl ion. So due to the producing of hydroxyl ion, ammonia has a basic character. So similarly, for primary, secondary, and tertiary amine, you can produce ammonium ion as well as hydroxyl ion. So you can easily calculate the Kb from these below equations, and in these below equations the amount of water is in large, so you can make it constant. So that's why you can calculate the Kb via following equation. And as you know that if the Kb value is higher or larger, your base is strong. Okay. So that's why you can say from primary amine is less basic than secondary amine. But this is the important, your tertiary amine is less basic than secondary amine. So means what? Your secondary amine is a highest basicity. Okay, so that's why if I am comparing methyl, dimethyl and trimethylamine, so the Kb values are here. So if you can observe, this tertiary amine has a is a least, or I can say least basic character than secondary and primary. So how this happen? So this is the interpretations of this strength. So if I am comparing between ammonia and primary amine, so primary amine contain one alkyl group. So due to this alkyl group, they are donating electrons to this nitrogen. Hence, on nitrogen, the basicity is increased. So the basic strength of amine are account for the degree of availability of unshared electron pair on the nitrogen of an amine. So alkyl group are electron releasing compared to the hydrogen atom. So this is the important things because they have a tendency to give or donate electron. Okay. So thus when a primary amine hydrogen of ammonium is replaced by alkyl group, electron will shift toward the nitrogen, as I told you. Hence there will be increase in electron close to the nitrogen in RNH2 than ammonia, and thus unshared electron pair on nitrogen is more available to react with proton from water molecule, and that's why methylamine is stronger than ammonia. Similar with diamine also, because here if you have two alkyl group and both alkyl group have a tendency to give electrons to nitrogen. Okay, so that's why secondary amine is stronger than primary amine. So that's why in methyl and dimethylamine electron, the basicity is described by electronic effect. Okay, and increasing in base strength is only due to this electronic effect. However, in trimethylamine, it is overcrowding by 3-methyl groups, and hence nitrogen causes steric effect. Okay, and this steric effect is dominated by electronic effect. So it can produce some kind of steric hindrance, and due to this steric effect, the protonations of nitrogen, which result in appreciably lower base strength of trimethylamine. So this is my last slide of amine, and from next lecture I will teach you about aromatic amines. Thank you.